president. We need someone who can hold India's hand and restore its innocence. India should ask His Holiness the Dalai Lama if he would like to be our next president. Incredible and nearly impossible as the idea might sound, it still believes there is a merit in our thinking about it. Next article is related to expansion game. China wants a larger BRICS to challenge the existing international order. The article talks about a virtual meeting of BRICS Plus foreign ministers was held on May 20, in which ministers of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa were joined by representatives from Argentina, Egypt, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Nigeria, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Senegal, and Thailand. Russia and China have decided that this is an opportunity time to expand the BRICS and challenge the domain of G7 by including the members from the G20. Established in 2006, BRIC graduated to a summit in 2009. Since India, Brazil, South Africa summits were held alongside, South Africa became a logical member of BRICS in 2011. China made it appear that it was creator of consensus to admit South Africa, when India was the key force behind this decision. Now China is taking the lead and setting the agenda for BRICS expansion. New Development Bank associated with BRICS expanded membership in 2021, admitting Bangladesh, UAE, Uruguay, and Egypt. The new entrants may seem like strange bedfellows, but they were the first 4 countries to admit after the original BRICS countries established the New Development Bank. What are the likely criteria that would emerge to guide the process of inducting new members into the BRICS? First likely criteria will be to prioritize G20 members. Among the recent guests, Argentina, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia would qualify for this category. UAE and Egypt would utilize this membership of New Development Bank as qualifier. Afghanistan was invited as a large country in Central Asia, where China and Russia have important interest. Nigeria was invited as an important South African economy. Senegal was invited as a current chair of the African Union. Thailand as a chair of APEC. Indonesia as a chair of G20 there as well. Being a member of G20 gave it leadership in Africa. Being in the BRICS gave it heft as an African representative. If Nigeria and Egypt are admitted, South Africa would no more be the African representative in the BRICS. So Indonesia, because India is unlikely to oppose it, as its relationship has been improving politically, even if not economically. Next article that we are moving into is related to China lifts the ban on COVID visa ban on Indians to allow return of stranded workers and families. While opening visa services to India, China is yet to announce plans to open flight facilities between the two countries. Currently, only diplomats between the two countries travel through the expensive third country flight route. Next article is related to over 84% temporary visitors moved due to COVID linked factors. Let us see who are temporary visitors. And so reasons why temporary visitors moved during the onset of COVID. Temporary visitors have been categorized as workers who moved the place of stay for 15 days or more but less than 6 months. After the onset of COVID-19 pandemic, March 2020, 0.7% of the country's population was a temporary visitor in household during July 2020 to June 2021. A report named Migration India 2020-2021 released by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation on Tuesday showed over 84% of these temporary visitors categorized as those who arrived after the March 2020 and stayed in the household continuously for a period of 15 days or more but less than 6 months. Moved places for a reason linked to pandemic. A total of 48.9% of the temporary visitors moved to meet the family, relatives, friends during July 2020 to June 2021. Periodic Labour Force Survey for July 2020 to June 2021 separates the category of temporary visitors and migrants. While temporary visitors have been defined as one who arrived in the household after March 2020 and stayed continuously for a period of 15 days or more, but less than 6 months. Migrants have been defined as those for whom the last usual place of residence anytime in the past is different from the present place of enumeration. That 0.7% is male. Among the females, the highest level of migration rates have been seen at 86.8% for marriage, while 49.6% of males migrated in search of employment to take the better employment, business proximity to place of work, or loss of job and consure of in it lack of employment opportunities. Next article is all about Goyal getting half-backed deal on TRIPS waiver. The developed countries are nitpicking on proposals of patent waiver to deal with the COVID under the aegis of World Trade Organization, getting completely half-baked deal that will not allow them to make any vaccine. Rejecting the current text on fishery subsidy negotiation, India on Tuesday said World Trade Organization members engaged in distant water fishing should stop providing any kind of subsidies for 25 years as they provide higher support measures and are indiscriminately exploiting the fisheries resources. Meanwhile, India strongly pitched to members for finding a permanent solution to the issues of public stockholding of grains for food security program. Next article is related to what is Agnipath scheme. Before that, prosthetic legs suited for the way Indians sit and walk, adjustable and affordable. Let us see about that. The researchers at IIT Guwahati seeks to address the needs and will avail at rupees 25,000. They say allow of the Western style prosthetic legs do not allow for a squat necessary for those using squat toilet. These devices allow sitting only in chair position or at 90 degree. Next article is all about Agnipath scheme. What's in Agnipath scheme? Government on Tuesday unveiled a pay and benefits what the Agniveers will get. First year 30,000, second year 33,000, in hand 21,000 and 23,100. Third year 36,500 and 25,580. Fourth year 40,000, that is 28,000. Contribution to Seva Nidhi 9,000, 9,900, 10,950, 12,000. Government's contribution to Seva Nidhi same as well. Okay. Other benefits exit after 4 years. 11.71 lakh as Seva Nidhi package, including interest accumulated on the above amount as per the applicable rates. Other benefits like life cover 48 lakh, disability attributes attributable to service rupees 15 lakh to 44 lakh one time ex gratia, death attributable to service 44 lakh ex gratia plus salary for remaining service period. The article talks about the government on Tuesday unveiled a new recruitment path into Indian armed forces. The scheme announced by Defence Ministry Rajnath Singh along with the chiefs of 3 services has been named Agnipath, and those who recruited will call Agniveers. What's a new scheme? Earlier known as Tour of Duty, it is now Agnipath. Under the new plan, the soldiers and sailors and our airmen will be recruited for 4-year period. The scheme is not optional, as well as all personnel below officer rank will be hired only through this route from now. In the previous system, troops joined for 17-year period who could be extended for some personnel, and it resulted in a lifelong pension. The new scheme envisages just a 4-year tenure for most of the joining below the rank of officer. Troops under the scheme will not eligible for pension benefits. Recruitment will start within next 90 days. Those selected will undergo maximum training of 6 months, after which they will serve for 3.5 years in respective services. At the end of this 4-year period, only 25% of Agniveers will be recruited back into the service. Who is eligible to apply means recruitment will be open to those who ages 17.5 to 21 years. Minimum educational qualification would be class 10 or 12 depending on the service. The force will also look at the aspirant trained at the Industrial Training Institute for certain skills. As only men are allowed across almost all combat arms of the 3 armed force, most of the recruitment will be for men. However, according to the government, there will be a progressive recruitment for women as well based on service requirements. The woman will be a part of Agniveer scheme. how many troops will be recruited? In the first year, 46,000 will be recruited for the 3 services. This will go up to over 50,000 annually. The induction will happen every 6 months. What kind of training will Agniveers get means that will depend upon the service entered and the role assigned. Minimum training provided to each recruiter will be 10 weeks and maximum 6 months. If Agniveer is selected back into the particular service after the 4-year tenure, he or she might get the additional training if required. What happens after 4 years? At the end of the 4-year cycle, 75% of Agniveers will move out of the service and they will then be free to pursue any educational or job perspective they wish. Defense Minister said Agniveers are likely to given preferences by several central government departments and some state government in recruitment after their service, and such announcement could be made sooner. Also, Seva Nidhi money will cover over 11 lakh and given to them at the end of their service will help them become entrepreneurs, the government said. Next article is about Gloucester shipwreck, its importance in history. What's the article is all about? More than 300 years ago, royal ship sank in the North Sea, taking scores of passengers and crew to their watery grave, almost killing the Duke of New York. Shipwreck had been located, and the discovery has since been hailed as one of the most significant maritime history. Next is about significance of holy relics of Buddha sent on exposition to Mongolia. This article talks about, according to Buddhist belief, Lord Buddha attained salvation at the age 80 in Kushinagar, now in Uttar Pradesh. Mallas of Kushinagar cremated him, and the relics from the funeral pyre were collected and divided into 8 shares from erecting stupas over the sacred relics. 2 more stupas came up, and one over the urn in which the relics had been collected, and other over the embers. It is said that Emperor Ashoka opened up 7 of 8 stupas and collected a major portion of the relics for enshrined within 84,000 stupas he built. Kapilavastu relics. A discovery of casket in 1898 at the stupa site in Piprahava near Siddharth Nagar helped identify the site with ancient Kapilavastu. An inscription on casket lids refers to the relics of Buddha and his community, the Sakya. Sukki Badivanam Sha Bakikanam Sha Puta Dalanam Yam Salila Nira Badasha Bhagavade Sakyanam. Okay, the relics have been sent up. Next, that's all. If you like the video, please do share, like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.